Welcome in. Welcome to the Premier Mindset by Premier Performance LLC. I'm your host, Trent Mailer, LCSW, and this is episode 14. There's a bunch of information in the show notes. If there's anything in there you're looking for, that's a great place to go check out. We have descriptions of the episode along with information in terms of where to find visuals if you are listening to the audio form of this. So that can be a good spot to check things out if you do have something you're looking for. If you're looking for certain information connected to research I'm talking about, first feel free to reach out and let me know if you're looking for something, but that is where I will put it if there has been any requests. So if you are looking for, links or more specifics of the research I'm talking about, that would be a great place to check it out. Just let me know what you're looking for. If you don't see it there, that's where I'll put it. I have videos of the episodes, especially for these ones where visuals are involved. That could be helpful. That could be something you're looking for. They're on YouTube, Spotify. I also post clips on various social media accounts like TikTok, Instagram. So just keep an eye out. Follow us on all of these so you can find the things as they come out. The podcast itself is available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you'd like it somewhere else, just let me know. I'll get it up there too. My goal is to have all this stuff out there and accessible as much as possible. If you're getting anything good from this or you have any feedback to share, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. You could leave a review. You could like us, follow us, favorite us, subscribe to us. You can send messages, just reach out and connect in a lot of different ways. But any way to give feedback at all is going to be really helpful for us. We like learning what we can do better, what we can grow, how we can keep building on all this. And on top of it, I want to make sure you guys know when things are coming out. So I try and put stuff out weekly with the podcast, but I try and put stuff out daily on various social media accounts as well. So just lock in, follow along with us, and hopefully you can get some really great things to build up your life for yourself. There's a lot of different people that could get help from these episodes. This episode specifically is going to be helpful for people feeling a little lost, maybe in their life, maybe in what they want to do, maybe in other things. So this could be helpful for anyone that's feeling a little lost, a little uncertain of where they want to go, uncertain of their goals in life or who they want to be in the future. And we're going to really explain it and explore it in a lot of different ways to help make it clear of how to kind of take action on this stuff and move forward. Because I do try and make it a point to give you guys actionable tools to find success in your life, in your careers, in your relationships, all these kinds of things. And I'm really trying to put out stuff that works. It's all evidence-based. It's all research. It's not just random things that we're throwing at the wall hoping it works. And I want to make sure to get these things to you. But the most important part of it is you guys giving it a shot. Because I can talk about it all day long. I can talk about how great it is. But if you never actually try it, you're not going to really get anything from it. So I want you guys to try these things. But at the end of the day, it's not a replacement for therapy or medical treatment. It's purely educational. So if you do have things you need, if there is something that is causing you issues and you need treatment for in some way or another, make sure to go get that. This is not going to replace those things. This is just hopefully a good supplemental piece that can help with what you're doing and maybe even point you in some directions to get what you need. My goal of a lot of the content I'm putting out is to really expand awareness and education for people to understand how we work and how these things work, because I really want to help people understand these things. So I think there's a lot of problems and issues we could avoid if we just understood how we worked a little bit more. And that's why I'm putting this stuff out and the way I'm doing it, and I'm doing it in a free way because I really want to give it to everybody. And that's why I also kind of urge you guys to share it with anyone you think is going to get something from it, because my goal is just to help. Getting into my program of what I do specifically at Premier Performance, we like to focus on the tailor-made aspect of it, which is why I only work with a select few premium clients. So if anyone's interested in that, let me know. I mean, we have like a wait list at this time with that stuff, but that is a great place if you're looking for those things, but that's not like the only way to do it. There's a lot of different things, and that's why I'm trying to put this stuff out there in a way that just helps you guys. So keep that in mind and, kind of spread the awareness best you can too. I think it's going to be helpful for everybody. And I think a lot of this stuff can touch a lot of people in their lives and help them move forward in different ways too. If you have any questions, concerns, anything I can help with, you can reach out in a lot of different ways. The first way is through email. My email is tmailer@premierperformancereno.com. My last name is spelled Mahler. You can text or call me specifically directly at 775-561-0056. I have the Instagram and the TikTok, both with the same name, Premier_Performance_Reno. And then the Facebook page and the LinkedIn page, both with the same name again, Premier Performance LLC. So follow us on all these, check in. I'd love to see you guys get more and more of this stuff and keep growing that community. And eventually I'm going to keep putting more things out to help build you guys together and connect with each other because I think that'll be cool. It just takes time to build these things up. So that's the goal right now. We're just going to build things up and then eventually start connecting more and more people with each other. So today we're going to jump in and we're going to cover passion and flow state. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of passion before. Passion is going to be a really interesting topic where there's a lot in that. And some of you may have heard of flow state or being in flow. And some of you may have not heard that before, and that's all right. We're going to get into what that is, what that looks like, and how to access that. And a lot of these things kind of overlap with each other, which is why I think it's going to be a perfect topic for today's episode. But first, let's jump into our brain activity to really get started. And what that brain activity is today is called the flow reflection. The way we do this is you want to reflect and journal on a time when you felt in flow. Feeling like you're locked in or feeling as if you were on fire. Like those kind of feelings where it's just like everything's just clicking, everything's working. So that's kind of the feeling you're looking for. And when I say reflect and journal, the main point of that, the main reason we want to do that is we want to help ourselves recognize where we were, what we were feeling, where we were at that time. And we want to journal because when you're writing it down, when you're putting it pen to paper, it just kind of sits in our mind differently and it almost opens up a connection to the subconscious to let some things in and get some things out. So reflecting is great, but let's also try and add in that journaling aspect of it. If you don't like people maybe reading your journal or whatever it is or what you're writing, you can just throw it away after. You don't have to hold on to these things or keep them. But just keep that in mind that actually writing with this stuff is going to help more than anything. So when you are reflecting on that time, you're in flow, feeling locked in, feeling as if you're on fire. I want you to write down what was happening, what were you doing, what were you doing right before feeling in flow, how did it feel in flow, what stood out, how long did it last, what pulled you out of it. I know it's a lot of different things, and there's more stuff in there, so if you have certain things that pop up, feel free to put those in there too. I just want to use that as a structure to guide you guys as you explore this activity. And what we're pointing out is just what helped, what didn't, what worked for it, what pulled you out of it, because that's going to help us understand almost the ingredients of flow state for you specifically, so you can better help yourself get into it more often. The more often you're in flow state, the better. We'll get deeper into that later in the episode. But helping yourself get into it is going to really help explore and understand how to get back to it. So we don't have to just hopefully luck into it. We want to make this a very specific thing you're trying to do. It's not just like a random thing we luck into and hope it happens sometimes. This is going to be a great starting point to get more into this stuff, and it's going to also help us understand what helps and what doesn't. So really focus on that reflection, especially in this process of trying to do it more and more. You really want to build it up for yourself and see where that goes. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think. If you love it, awesome. Keep doing it. Build it into your routine. If you don't, that's all right. There's a lot of other ways to do this, but at least give it a shot. You don't have to believe it's going to work. Just be open to it working. With that being said, let's jump into the episode, and we're going to start off with passion. So what is passion? Passion is a strong liking or desire for or devotion to some activity, object, or concept. So it could be pretty broad. It can kind of be anything, which is nice because it gives us a lot of options, a lot of things we can work on, a lot of things we can focus on. But at the same time, that broadness can be scary and frustrating because maybe we don't even know where to start. We don't know how to get into it. So that's understandable. I get that. But that passion can kind of be anything. And I want you guys to keep that in mind. Don't try and restrict yourself too much. Let yourself be open to the idea that there's a lot of different stuff that could fit into this category. We just want to explore it and see what fits for you. Passion is important because we need passion in our life. It helps create a sense of purpose. Passion can change in our life in different ways too. It doesn't have to just be one thing. So maybe we've had passions before, and this is, another part of why I got into my work with Premier Performance is seeing the passion shift, especially for student athletes or athletes, where you're doing one thing for 10, 15, even 20 years of your life, and then all of a sudden you have to stop and go do something completely different you've never done before. It's a huge identity shift. You have to put that focus elsewhere. I remember for me, it was a big struggle when my passion left from football because I just was done with it. I was retired. I was doing other things. I didn't know where to put it. I didn't know what to do with my passion and all this effort and experience that I had built up through football that was really helpful for me and helped me get where I was, and it really bothered me. I remember going through some struggles connected to that, and once I have found my passion now with what I'm doing, it feels like it's just kind of clicking again. And I say that because I want to let you guys know that there is multiple things you can have passion for. We go through different chapters in our life, and I don't want you feeling like what you had at a certain point is never going to come back, because that's not true. We just might have to get a little creative or figure out how to get there. Might have to problem solve some things. So keep that in mind. There are ways to get back to this stuff, and there are ways to find what clicks for us. Sometimes we just got to try some stuff out and go the trial and error route. But don't get stuck thinking that the best time of your life is in the past. It's probably in front of you if you're willing to do the work, and it may be well worth it if you put that effort into it. Passion is vital because it fuels motivation, it provides direction, and it enhances well-being. It drives individuals to persevere through challenges, to find purpose, and to contribute meaningfully to their lives and the world. Passion ignites creativity, and encourages continuous learning, and it fosters strong relationships. So, as you can kind of see talking through this, passion really can hit on all areas of our life, and it can really help increase that life satisfaction, like we were talking a little bit in the last episode. So, this passion piece, I really want to dive into deeper because I think this is a piece that a lot of people don't think about or don't consider in their life. We're just trying to get through each day, kind of almost in survival mode, maybe not quite, but pretty close. We want to really thrive in life. We don't want to just survive. We want to get through things in ways that are feeling good, that we feel happy, where we want every day almost like a joy to do. That's a life worth living. We don't want to be stuck trying to pull ourselves from day to day, because eventually you'll get to a point you just don't want to pull anymore. I don't want you guys going through that pain. I don't want you guys stuck feeling those things. So let's help ourselves find that passion and explore it. And don't be scared if you don't know what it is. Just embrace that fear and go towards it. The more light you shine on it, the more you start to uncover. Passion itself can impact work too, like our careers. Passion at work significantly impacts both the individual and the organization. It leads to increased productivity, enhanced creativity, improved job satisfaction, and can even contribute to a more positive and engaging work environment. Furthermore, passion can help individuals overcome obstacles, stay focused, and even inspire others. Some of you may have felt that before, just talking to someone or being around someone that's just very passionate about what they do. It's like contagious. We can feel that energy and we want to feel it too, and we want to be around it. And keep that in mind. That could be you too. It doesn't have to just be all these people that you see online or see on TV or see in movies. You can actually have that passion and have that draw for everyone around you too, and it can be contagious where they then take it on and they do the same thing, and we kind of start this chain reaction of just passion. Passionate individuals tend to be more resilient in the face of setbacks and are more likely to view challenges as opportunities for growth. That's that idea of that threat versus challenge that we talked about before. That if you are looking at things and facing things as challenges, going through that lens of passion, you're gonna handle obstacles and problems a lot better. So that piece can help build up that resilience. That can help us sit in that discomfort for longer. And that could be a very powerful thing, because there's a lot of people out there that aren't willing to sit in discomfort. And I'm sure you guys run into people like that every day. So we want to push ourselves to sit in the discomfort. We want to push ourselves to grow through that. And that's going to help us keep building on ourselves as a people. And you're going to look back at what you did and you're going to be really proud of what you built. When we are engaging in our passion, it feels like a deeply fulfilling and intrinsically rewarding experience. Often it's described as a sense of purpose and joy. It can be a feeling of being in the zone where time seems to disappear and you're completely absorbed in the activity. This feeling can be fueled by intense emotional drive and a deep enjoyment of the pursuit. It can really just fill our heart and souls with this satisfaction that things are just going good. That's that deeply fulfilling and intrinsically rewarding experience piece. And it's not even saying that this is coming from comfort, it's coming from work. So imagine if you're working hard at something and feeling that fulfilling just satisfaction that can come with it. That can be pretty incredible. And you may really enjoy your life getting that, especially if you can do that 4, 5, 6 days a week. That might be pretty awesome. And if time just disappears, we're not looking at the clock, we're just absorbed in that activity, and we're just kind of driving ourselves to keep going. We're just locked in. And you guys may have felt this before, of just being like locked in doing something and you just don't want to stop. And before you know it, like 5 hours pass. This can be our everyday life. This can be something that we get into quite regularly. Even when challenges arise, there's that underlying pull that keeps you coming back to your passion, keeps giving you that sense of meaning, and it transcends those momentary feelings like getting a raise or getting a promotion or having something go well or having a nice experience. Because things are going to lose their shine sometimes. That novelty wears off. So having that passion there is going to pull us back to the thing because we just have this genuine enjoyment, desire to get into it. So that can really lead to some really awesome things. And letting ourselves get pulled into this, that natural motivation can help us keep building and create something that a lot of people can't if you're trying to do it through the route of like discipline or just forcing yourself through it. You get that soul pull that pulls you through it and helps you keep going. And it's almost like getting a boost. Passion can also make you feel more alive and energized. This will give you a desire to explore and learn more. So it'll help you grow as a person. It kind of goes back to like the idea of like exercise giving you more energy. I know it doesn't sound like it will, like doing more work is going to give you more energy to do more work, but it actually does work that way. If we do the right kind of work and we line it up in a way that works with us and we're taking care of our body at the same time, we're not overdoing it. Balance is key. You will feel more alive, more energized, more willing to live your life and do the things you want to do. You'll find as if you're almost lighter on your feet. So try and find that passion. It's going to really help. It can guide us in a lot of ways too. Passion acts as a driving force and an internal compass, guiding individuals towards fulfilling and purposeful lives by igniting motivation, providing direction, and shaping choices. It can help in finding a career, making life decisions, and balancing work and life. And think of how many times this could be helpful in your life so far. Think of the times not being sure what to do or what's going to work for you or how to handle a situation or whether you need to work more or take more time off. That passion can help us figure out where we're going and what we need to do next. Whether it's I need to lock in and do more or whether I need to take a break today and let some of these juices like refill themselves again. The interesting thing about pursuing your passion is that doing something you care about on an emotional and intellectual level will result in you wanting to do more of it. It's kind of like that contagion of this feels good, I want more. It's that dopamine rush, kind of like eating sugar. Feels good, I want more. Let's go get more candy. This means there's a direct link between discovering and developing your passions and achieving growth in your career and personal development. So even if you feel totally lost, you don't know what it is, you don't know where to go, just keep exploring things until you find something that clicks. And that thing that clicks may be there for a month, it may be there for 10 years. But whatever timeline, whatever time frame it's there, it will help keep pulling you. And whenever it changes or it goes away or it starts to diminish, we can do a couple things to explore if I just need a break and I need to find more balance with this, or if I got everything I needed out of this thing, it's now time to go change up the direction again and find something else. Because life's a long, winding road. There's a lot of different things that we can do. It's not just a straight path. Passion also provides excitement and anticipation. Passion is a force to accomplish things set in your mind. It's going to push us to get stuff done, and it's going to get us out of that freeze mindset of just getting stuck and just get us working. Passion can reveal what truly matters to us. It can help us find our values. It can provide a sense of purpose and direction in life, again, being that compass. And sharing our passions with others is a great way to create meaningful connections and a sense of community, which I'm sure a lot of you are struggling with. It's really hard to have enough people in our life, whether it's friends or social connections or other aspects of relationships. That's one of the things I hear the most in my work is people being lonely and not sure how to get friends or where to find them. Passion's a great place to start. Using that passion to find other people with the similar passion to connect with and to, build a connection with as you can create that sense of community and sense of feeling like there are others around you. That can be pretty incredible. If you're feeling lost and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, there are some things you can do to help yourself find your passion. To find your passion, start by reflecting on your values, your strengths, and your interests. Looking there first is a great place because if you're interested in these things or something's working out for you, or if it's something that feels just deeply true to who you are as a person, that's a great place to see if this is going to click for me. Because if you find things that click in there, that can be a great passion, and that's a great way to kind of looking at it from the start, trying to understand how you get to the finish line almost. Explore different activities and try new things out to discover what resonates with you. That's that trial and error of just trying things. We have to put ourselves out there and try things out, see what happens. We want to embrace that trial and error. because the process of elimination is just as valuable as finding what you love. Finding what you don't like, finding what doesn't work is going to help you. You're crossing things off the list. Don't look at it as failures. Don't feel as though you're not going to figure it out. You are making the list smaller every time you find something that doesn't fit for you. But we have to get out there and try it. You can't just look at a list and say, I'm not going to like that. You got to do it. Seek guidance from mentors or people who inspire you and consistently commit to exploring your potential passion. So you want to explore this with other people that know you, that will push you, that will call you on stuff, because sometimes we need to be called on our stuff. And just consistently commit that I'm going to explore this thing. I'm going to figure out what this is. Consistency is key with most things. If you keep effort, patience, and consistency together, you can get a lot of things done and be very successful with whatever you're trying to get done. We also can engage in deep thinking about what truly matters to you, what you're naturally good at, what activities bring you joy. Consider those past experiences, things that used to feel good, things that used to be strengths, interests you used to have. I mean, that's kind of the piece with me doing this work and helping people reach that premier performance. A lot of that work is based on me trying to, kind of find my own premier performance through my work as an athlete. And I want to help others, understand the obstacles I ran into so that they don't have to run into the same ones. And I also want to give them the tools that I learned as well as the ones I'm continuing to learn so people can keep building themselves up and reaching these goals that they have set for themselves. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and try new things. Attend workshops, read books, join clubs, volunteer, take classes, explore different fields or topics. Just put yourself out there. My favorite saying is be comfortable being uncomfortable because that's where all growth happens. Life doesn't feel great when we just live in the comfort zones. The comfort zone is a great place to be and it's great to know what it is. But if we only live in the comfort zone, that's going to cause problems too. We have to have balance and we have to get out of that comfort zone. We have to push ourselves to grow. Sometimes we need other people to help us do it. That's that power of having a mentor or maybe people in your life you trust. But you have to put yourself out there. You got to try new things. And I know it's scary. I know it's hard. I wish there was ways to make it easier. But sometimes the best thing to do is just throw ourselves in the fire and see what happens. Because I promise you, you can handle it. And I promise you, you have a strength you don't realize is there. You just got to put yourself in it and see what happens. It's okay to not find your passion immediately. The process of eliminating options is just as important as finding that match, like I said. Don't get discouraged if something doesn't feel right. It's a learning opportunity. We want to learn from our failures. We want to fail forward. If we just get stuck because something didn't work out, we're going to go back to the comfort. We're going to go back to what's easy. And you're not going to find that life worth living. And it's going to cause more and more problems. And it's going to drain you, your success, and the relationships in your life. Push yourself to find these things and push yourself to sit in that process of unknown, of I'm not sure what this is yet. Because once it clicks, you're going to be so glad you put yourself through it. When you connect with those mentors, friends, or role models, you want to ask for their advice from their learned experiences. And you want to also ask them what they see in you, what they can reflect back. Because a lot of times people see things in us that we don't see in ourselves. So this could be just kind of brainstorming by ourselves, or it could just be having a nice conversation with them to build into like, what should I do or what direction do you think I should go? And sometimes people got some good stuff and maybe it's really broad or general, but maybe it's really specific too. And that can be a great starting spot or another piece of that trial and error of I'm going to go try those things out and see if it works for me because someone said I'm really good at my hands, so I'm going to try something as a mechanic. It may go great, you may like it, you may hate it and be like, all right, I'm good with my hands, yeah, but I don't want to do that. And that's okay. We just have to try it out. You're not going to know if it's going to click or not till you do it. Once you find a potential passion, dedicate time to it and explore it deeply. Continue to learn and grow and immerse yourself in that chosen area, whether that's reading books, watching documentaries, meeting with people that already do it, interning, doing ride-alongs, kind of following along however we can, just kind of getting involved. The more you get involved with it, the more you're going to know if this clicks or if it doesn't. And if it does click, get into it more. Find a way to get paid for it because then we can pay our bills by doing it. And you can maximize your time in it. And your time doing it is going to also increase your career in general. So it's going to increase that success. That's a really great way to live your life. And that's also a really great way to be successful in your life. So find a way to get into it whenever you find something that might click and just dive at it head first and see where it takes you. So now let's talk about exercising that passion, like how to build it up, how to increase it. Once you find something that sparks your interest, dive deeper into it and learn as much as you can, like we just talked about. You have to dive through it. You can't just skim the surface. You can't just barely look at it. You can't put it off and say, okay, I got my thing. I'll worry about it next week. You got to get into it while that spark is hot. Once that interest starts to cool down, your brain will find a way to tell you not to do it. Our brain does not like change. It doesn't want to change things. It wants to keep everything in your life exactly the same because it likes predicting the future, such as routines and what's going to happen next and habits and all these things. That's why it likes routines and habits so much. So if we change things up, it's this natural fear of the unknown of I don't know what's coming next, and the brain freaks out a little bit. So if you give it the option, the brain's going to tell you not to. So when you feel these things, when you have that idea, you have to jump on it as soon as you can. If you let it cool down, it's going to be hard to jump on it later. Having clear goals help a lot to work towards staying motivated and focusing on developing your passion. If you have no structure around it, it gets really tough. So that goal could be, work related, where it's like I'm going to work on my passion 1 hour every day. It could be more results oriented of I'm going to build this thing every week, whatever it is, whatever that passion is, but have goals around it so you can help guide your progress, help shape your direction of where you're headed, and keep yourself consistent while also tracking your progress of things getting better because that's going to feel good. And then commit to your passion. You have to commit time and energy to it. If you don't, it's going to fall off, it's going to fall away, and you're going to have this feeling of that might have been cool, but I'm not going to get into it. We have to dedicate our time and our energy. It's an investment, our time and energy. And what we put that investment towards is going to grow that thing. We could put all of that investment of time and energy that we can towards comfort, and it may grow comfort, it may feel good, it may be comfortable, but that's only going to go so far. And comfort, at the end of the day, is a really surface level feeling. So let's try and push into it. Let's try and dedicate those things towards something that's going to grow for you and feel fulfilling. We got to be consistent. Passion often develops over time with consistent effort and practice. You're not going to get good at something if you do it every once in a while. You have to get into it. And the more you do it, the better you're going to be. So if you can really double down right now in your life because you have the time, focus that energy and that time as much as you can on this thing. And you might find some really cool stuff comes from it. If you take your time, it's still going to be good. You're still going to get things from it. It's just going to go slower. So we have to be understanding of that balance too. Be open to learning. See new challenges and experiences as opportunities to learn and grow. There's always ways to grow and learn in the field that you're in, whatever that field is. There's always more to do. Nothing is ever just completely static and it's just done. We have to keep being open to learning. We have to be sponges. And keep in mind, an investment into yourself is never a bad investment. So invest that time and energy into you and what you like and what you want to do, and you're going to be glad in the future that you did that. We have to stay positive. Maintaining a positive attitude and belief in yourself can help you overcome obstacles and stay motivated, which is really crucial when you're in that learning process because frustration, obstacles, and failures are numerous. They're everywhere. You're going to run into them, I promise. I would be very surprised if any of you got into a new field and it was just smooth, easy, and everything worked out perfectly. That would be amazing. If that's ever happened to any of you, please tell me. I would love to hear the story. But from my experience and what I've seen, people are going to run into things. You're going to run into failures. You're going to run into things that didn't work out. You're going to run into obstacles. We have to stay positive. We have to look at them as challenges so we can stay motivated, get over them, and keep going. Connect with like-minded people. Surround yourself with other people that share those interests and passions. That's going to give you more time and energy to be invested into it, especially as you're exploring those social connections. And having people in the field that you can lean on or ask questions to is going to help your growth too. Imagine your future. That can be really helpful with keeping us going. If you're struggling, take a second, close your eyes, and create a vision for your life where your passion plays a central role and see what that looks like. See how amazing that would be. See the things that would bring you the fruits of your labor and enjoy that moment. Be in that moment. Have that mindfulness. That can keep pulling us forward. That can be the piece enough to help us get over an obstacle or figure out an issue that we're having. Visualize those goals. Have those goals written down. Look at them every day. Have them in a place that you can kind of reflect on them and see how you're doing. We want to see those goals clearly. It's going to help you stay motivated and focused and help us spend that time and energy in a place that's going to help us move forward instead of in a place that's going nowhere. And when things are going well, you got to celebrate the progress. We typically get caught up ignoring progress to just think about what's next. And then there's power to that of just like keep moving, don't getting caught up in the celebration, but we need to celebrate. Even if it's small, just acknowledge it, celebrate your achievement, no matter how little it is. Even if it's just like, I got myself a cupcake, I'm going to enjoy this thing and celebrate it. That's fine. But we need to make a moment out of it because this is proof that what you're doing is working and it's going in the right direction. If we keep ignoring that, you're not going to have the motivation to keep going. You're losing out on all the success, all the rewards of what you're doing. We got to enjoy what you're creating for yourself too, not just keep looking down the line at the finish line. The goal is enjoying the progress, enjoying the process, not just getting caught up looking at that finish line or looking at where all these goals actually end up working out. The other thing with this stuff is if we don't take these things seriously, it is kind of a recipe for a midlife crisis. And I don't want you guys to deal with that. That can be a big problem. And I see a lot of people that are struggling with that stuff, and it's not a fun place to be. If you've ever had the feeling or the thought of the following, this is something to keep in mind because you might be setting yourself up for running into a midlife crisis. Okay? So here's the thought. I have a job. I kind of tolerate it most days. It stresses me out, but it pays the bills. I have a spouse. I kind of tolerate most days. I love them, but we just don't have that spark we used to have. I have kids who I stress about most days. I love them deeply, but they drive me crazy. My body functions okay, but I'm kind of fat, kind of stiff, and I feel myself getting old. I have one hobby maybe that I wish I had more time to enjoy, but that's kind of it. If that sounds like you, if that sounds like something you've been stuck with, we might need to consider we need to change these things because you're kind of inching towards a moment of realization of I'm not happy with this. Now what? And if you get there without realizing it, without having anything prepared or without taking your time to regulate, you can actually blow up your life. And this happens all the time. People will blow up a family. They'll go get some crazy fast car. They'll go do some job that they've never done before. They'll go do something reckless, whatever it is. And then they have to deal with those things for maybe 20 years after. So don't get to this spot where you're in this crisis and you start, impulsively doing things, hoping you're going to fix your situation. Let's mindfully focus on what we can do now to avoid this from happening. Creating that passion in your life is going to help you feel really good, and it's going to help live that fulfilling life that you want to keep living and that you're looking forward to every day. It's easy to get caught up with life and just keeping up with the Joneses, living life via just comparing to everyone else around us of who has what thing, like who has a boat, who has a bigger house, who has what car, who has what clothes. When we do these things, we sometimes commit to things that we don't really love because we're trying to reach an end goal. We're trying to keep up with things. We're trying to do something that someone else did. And we can sometimes fall into these traps of doing the things that we're not passionate about or don't really like because we think it's good enough and we can tolerate it. And I've heard this a bunch of people coming up with ideas of like, I'll just do this thing for like 5-10 years, then I'll figure something else out and I'll be so much happier because I made all this money. And it sounds great until someone tries to actually do it for 5 to 10 years and realize it just drains that soul from you and it's not something you can keep doing. If all we do is tolerate what we do 40 plus hours a week, if not more, it's very easy to get stuck. We have to enjoy what we're doing. And it doesn't mean every day we enjoy it. We're going to have moments of struggle, but we have to have days that we feel recharged leaving what we're doing. It can't just be a drain every day because it's going to be really exhausting trying to fill up your cup every day before going back into work again to do that thing again. Especially if you have a family life that's not working out too well either, because then it's going to be a real struggle to recharge. Once we hit that age of like 40, maybe 50, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, we start to reflect on what we have done and the legacy we have left behind. And this is where that crisis can start to click in of like kind of really pulling back and looking at it from a bird's eye view of like, what have I done for this last period of my life? Once those questions start, the impulsive reactions aren't far behind, like buying a new car or a boat or getting plastic surgery or having an affair or quitting a job without a strategy, all this kind of stuff. And it leads to a lot of issues. A midlife crisis is often triggered by a combination of factors, usually related to aging, career, relationships, and overall life satisfaction. With all of those, if you are following your passion and you are engaging in your passion at least a couple times a week, there's a high likelihood that you're going to be happy and satisfied with your life, your relationships, your career, and you might even have some acceptance over where you are with your age as well. Aging's a tricky one, so that one's iffy, but that could also help with that too. It can be a time of reassessing one's identity. Maybe in that midlife crisis, you're figuring out who you are, who I am now, changing up how we're looking at values and life choices. Usually leads to a lot of feelings of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and just like this need for change. And a need for change isn't a bad thing. We just got to make sure we do it in a way that's helpful and productive and not in a way that's tearing things down that you're going to have to work on later, because that's more stress, more work, and you're feeling probably more stuck. So try and explore these things and keep in mind that why I'm putting this stuff out there is it's a very real problem that if we don't find this stuff, it leads to more problems, more issues that are really hard to overcome later in life sometimes. If you have any questions about that, let me know. We can get deeper into the midlife crisis stuff if that does hit home. But I want to keep going with this and jump into flow state now. So, what is flow state? Flow state, also known as being in the zone, is a mental state of deep engagement and focus in a task where time seems to pass unnoticed and distractions fade away. It's characterized by effortless performance, a sense of being fully absorbed, and a feeling of being at your peak, aka the goal of premier performance, maximizing the amount of time in flow state to maximize success and help you guys keep living at that top level premier performance mindset. As you noticed, that aspect of flow state is very similar to what we are talking about with passion. And that's why these things are both in this episode together, because they overlap pretty well. Passion is the thing we're doing that we really enjoy. And with our passions, we can be in flow quite often. Not always, but quite often. Flow state helps us in a lot of ways, as it is a deeply engaged and focused mental state. It offers numerous benefits, including increased productivity, improved well being, enhanced creativity, and it can also lead to a sense of fulfillment and deeper learning. Essentially, flow state helps individuals achieve peak performance and experience a sense of effortless effort, leading to both personal and professional growth. If you get into flow state, everything is just clicking. It just feels like it's flowing. That's why it's called flow state. Is there's no obstacles, it's just working out. Everything's just nice and smooth and it's just flowing well. To engage in flow state, you want to focus on activities you find intrinsically rewarding and challenging, set clear goals, eliminate distractions, create a supportive environment, and mindfulness practices such as meditation can also help cultivate that mental focus needed for flow. So this again sounds very similar to what we were talking about earlier with passion, and the purpose of that is to show you guys that if you are engaging with that passion, you are more likely to fall into flow. We just have to do both and kind of build things up. And certain aspects of flow just get a little deeper into it than the passion side. So we want to keep in mind that it overlaps, but it's not the exact same. There are some strategies to enhance the likelihood of flow because we can't guarantee it. It's sometimes just a combination of things, and sometimes you just can't get your mind there. One thing you can do is find a challenging task. The challenge should be at a level that matches your skills, and we want to find activities where your skills are challenged, but they're not overwhelmed. We don't want to go too far. If you go too far, if it's too much of a challenge, while that might be good for us to learn new things or to build ourselves up and build the mastery, it's not going to be into flow. We're not going to get into flow. It has to be just challenging enough that it is a challenge, but it's not too hard so we can kind of start knocking things out. This creates that optimal balance for flow. So a lot of flow is about balance. We also want to minimize distractions, create an environment where you can focus without interruptions, reduce the external and internal distractions to maintain focus and concentration. There's a lot of ways to minimize distractions, but you guys know you best and you got to be honest with yourself. Is that me putting music on, or is that sitting in a dead silent room? Is that me working in an office at home, or is that me going to the library? What works for you is what works for you. But we got to be honest with ourselves, because sometimes we like things, especially as comfort, and we're letting them be there even though they are distracting us. So try and minimize those distractions best you can. Set clear goals. Have a clear objective can help you stay focused. Knowing where we're working towards and where we're going keeps us on task. It makes it easier for us to immerse in what we're doing, and we don't have to worry too much about the direction because we already know where we're going. Also, practice mindfulness. Build that muscle. That's why I talk about mindfulness so often, is it's a core concept of a lot of this. In any success-driven thing with like performance coaches, it's pretty much all mindfulness. Every once in a while you get different strategies. They might be more cognitive strategies, but it's a lot of mindfulness. Being aware of how you're thinking about yourself, looking at yourself as I am the greatest, all that kind of stuff. And this is where we like to go a little further with it, where we put in therapy techniques that we use on top of that go even further and go deeper, like EMDR. We're not going to get into that right now, but I just want to say, like, this mindfulness piece is the core concept that you'll see everywhere. So without this mindfulness muscle, it's going to make things hard. This is going to be a real key to reaching that premier performance. Paying attention to the present moment can help you enter a flow state, and that's what mindfulness is. So, regularly engaging in mindfulness practices like meditation or deep breathing, or anything else that you can find that is mindful, like coloring or drawing or singing, anything, can improve your ability to focus and enter flow. So, we want to really build that muscle of I can just sit in this moment, sit in this present. We want to be persistent. It may take some time and effort to find a task that allows you to enter flow state. Identify what activities and environments consistently lead to you flow for you and repeat them. Make a habit of incorporating flow inducing activities and strategies into your daily routine. This is the idea of that brain activity of reflecting on flow moments. Because if you know what got you there, the more time you spend in those moments, the more likely you'll fall back in again. Engage in activities that you find intrinsically rewarding, as this is more likely to trigger flow. If it's very fulfilling, you're going to get yourself into flow a lot easier, a lot quicker. So find things that give you that rewarding feeling where it just feels good to do the thing and do more of it. Flow can be challenging to achieve. Be patient and persistent, and don't get discouraged if you don't always succeed. If you let yourself get frustrated, you're not getting there, you're going to build up this association in your brain that doing that thing is going to feel frustrating, and your mind's going to expect that to pop up. So we have to give ourselves room and be open to this stuff working out and accept that if it doesn't work out and we don't get there, that's okay. We just reset, we try again and say today wasn't our day, and we just keep moving. Flow state feels good because it involves a heightened concentration, a sense of control, and a reward related brain activity. This state is characterized by a loss of self conscious, altered time perception, and a feeling of merging with the activity, often accompanied by positive emotions. Flow engages brain regions associated with reward processing, leading to the release of feel good chemicals like dopamine, which is that feel good chemical of this feels good, I want more of it, like that motivation chemical, and endorphins, which we get naturally through doing things we like, spending time with people we love, working out, all these kind of things. So getting into flow state feels really good because of all these factors, and it is working in our brain to help us, live a life of happiness, because it's going to give us that happiness with what we're doing every day, and especially if we can get paid for it, because now you can spend your time focusing on it, and it feels like you're growing your career and you're being more successful and you're feeling good on top of it all, which is also going to increase your performance. Now let's talk a little bit about how passion and flow intersect. And as you've been listening, I'm sure you've heard a lot of different ways how it does. Sometimes it feels like I'm repeating myself, but it's just very similar topics coming out in ways that I really want to explain and get into the details with. Passion and flow states are deeply intertwined, often lead to a synergistic relationship where one enhances the other. Passion fuels the intrinsic motivation needed for flow, while flow can deepen and refine that passion. So it's very circular, it can kind of give to itself. That passion is going to give us the motivation that we need to get into flow. And while we're in flow, we're going to deepen that passion so it's easier to get into it and it's easier to build that motivation for flow again later. Essentially, engaging in activities driven by passion can lead to a state of flow where you're fully immersed and experience a sense of joy and focus. Many people are on the quest to find the sweet spot where their skills and passions align. This intersection is often where flow is most readily experienced. So that's where we want to focus on our strengths, what we're good at, what's worked before, what we like, our interests. And we want to align that with the things that we're doing that also hits on that, because that's going to be more likely to find a spot where flow state's going to enter. Both passion and flow really building each other in some really cool ways, but we got to get ourselves into it. And the hardest part is always starting. In summary, passion and flow are not just separate concepts, but rather interconnected elements that can create a powerful cycle of motivation, engagement, and fulfillment. By understanding that relationship, individuals can harness the power of both passion and flow to achieve greater personal and professional success. And that's the whole goal of the Premier Mindset, is to help you all be more successful. So let's find that passion. Let's find a way to get into that flow state as often as we can. And let's enjoy the whole journey of it. And hopefully it leads to some fun. It leads to some wonderful memories. And it helps you guys get to a point you never thought you would reach. because whatever goal you have, whatever dream you have, you can get there if you push yourself to it. The hard thing is not everyone's willing to put that time and energy into it and have the patience to wait for the results to show up. So if you're willing to be that person that can do that, to put that time and energy out there and focus on the results and getting to those, you will get there in time. You just got to keep going. You just got to stay consistent and persist through the struggle. And if you don't know how to get through a struggle, reach out to somebody, get the help you need, or even just throw a question my way. My goal is just to help and increase that awareness. Recognition is the first step. Understand where you're at, where these things are working, where they're not, what's helpful about this stuff, what isn't, and be honest with yourself. If you're not honestly reflecting, it's going to be really hard to recognize things. Find that recognition and keep building on these things. And feel free to share this episode. If you thought this was helpful and you think you're getting some good stuff from it, share it with someone else. They might get some really awesome things from it too. If you have people in your life that you think could get some benefits from it that maybe aren't super open to the conversation, this is a great way to get the conversation moving. So send it to them and see if they like it, see if they get anything from it. The whole goal of this is just increasing that awareness and education and putting it out there for everybody, because I don't want it just locked behind closed doors with me and my clients. I want it out there for everybody. So let's get it out there. Let's share these things. And I'd appreciate if you guys help me just expand that reach, because I can't do it all by myself. We're kind of building that community already. And, the people I've been talking to, it's been pretty awesome just seeing how this stuff has been helpful and just seeing how that community is already starting to form. But I really want to build it because I think it'll be helpful for a lot of people. So send it out to people. Don't be afraid to share these things. You never know how impactful this stuff can be if you just throw something someone's way. And if they don't get anything from it, really no big deal. You just don't talk about it again. You just keep moving. Who cares? So throw it someone's way, see what happens. I make it a point to give you guys actionable tools to find success in your life with this. And I want to know how it's going. So let me know. Reach out. Tell me the stories of, success or failure. I love hearing all of these things. And if you feel comfortable, let me know if I can share it on here, and I'll share it for everyone else too, because I think it can be really powerful hearing what works and hearing how these things can work for people and kind of create that motivation for people to keep doing it. So if things are going well, let me know. If they're not going well, let me know. I want to be involved either way, not just here for the sunshine. I'm also here for the rainy days too. If you have any questions, any issues, anything you want to let me know about, there's a lot of different ways to reach out. You can email me at teammailer@premierperformancereno.com. My last name is spelled Mahler. You can text or call me directly at 775-561-0056. We got the Instagram and the TikTok with the same name, Premier_Performance_Reno. And then we got the Facebook page and the LinkedIn page with the same name as well, just Premier Performance LLC. So follow us, check us out, reach on out, try these things out. Let's build you up. Let's create that premier mindset, and we're going to keep going. Next week, we're going to jump into life transitions and going through change or struggles and just how that is and how to get through it. Because, that's kind of the next step. Once we do find these things, if we're not already doing it, we're going to have to change things up. And with change comes struggle. So we'll figure out those life transitions and what we can do, and hopefully just keep building on all this together. I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you got something good from this. Leave a review if you haven't before. That would be awesome to hear from you guys. And keep going. Keep doing the best you can. Keep reaching for that success. And if I can help in any way, don't be afraid to reach out. Find that premier mindset. I hope you guys have a great time. And I'll see you next week, where we'll keep on going.